I'd like to welcome all our guests to INGED's Zoom series for professional development. This evening, we'll have session 43. Can you believe it? It's 43, it's a lot. Our speaker today is the president of INGED, Professor Dr. Aydan Ersöz. The title of the session is Back to School. Are you ready? Apparently, I'm not. I can't pronounce Turkish words, English words. Hocam, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, my dear colleagues, for being with me this evening. Well, the session is called Back to School. Are we ready? So if it is all the same with you guys, I would like to ask you, okay, some questions. You can write your answers in the chat box. Or if you're dying to say something, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and just contribute. The first question I have is, considering all your past experience, do you think online education was successful last year? Not too bad, I can say, yeah, okay. So, not exact. Yes, not exactly. Yeah. How about the others? What do you think? You may be a student, you may be a teacher. What is the impression that you have when you consider your past experience? Can say successful as face-to-face education, but I can't say, unsuccessful. Okay, yeah, not the same curriculum. Definitely, Uğur Hocam, I completely 100% agree with you. If we stick to the same curriculum, it's impossible to follow it. Face-to-face, of course, much better, but I was not. Yeah, okay. Now, I know that you are referring to your personal experience, but is it possible to consider the whole education? Not only you, what you have done, how much you have accomplished, but how about the others? For example, how about EBA? I should say EBA, I guess. I cannot pronounce it in English. Television programs. Do you think they were successful? Do you think students really learned a lot? Yeah, I suffered the lack of human interaction, especially when you're learning a language, when you're teaching a language, which is interaction and communication, right? Yeah, Şebnem Hocam says, I don't think so. Not every student had this. I know. We keep talking about equality, but I think we forget about equity, where students do not have the same, privileges? Maybe, are they privileges? I think they are basic needs right now. Having a good internet connection, for example, or being able to watch the television without your parents interfering, you know. As young learners, I can definitely, young learners, definitely, they need interaction, they need social environment. And of course, we don't know what kind of atmosphere that they had at home. Was it safe? Did they feel comfortable staying at home? Okay, thank you very much for, yeah, it was like a pantomime show. I totally agree with you. Okay, another question that I have for you. What is one thing that you have missed about face-to-face education? One thing that immediately comes, oh my God, Ali Hocam, for example, said, I have missed human interaction. Is there, that's kind of, Ali Hocam, you have wonderful ideas this evening. Yes, interaction. Eye contact, eye interaction, you know, yeah. Okay. Jokes in the class, definitely. Yes, campus, body language, facial expressions. Classroom is a community. When students come to that community and you walk into the classroom, you become a member of that community. That community has a special language. That community has a special social interaction. And it is excellent, to be a part of that. Okay. Yeah. Students, our peers. Yeah, definitely. How about this one? What is one thing that you will miss about online education? Assuming that we go back to school, start face-to-face education. Okay, let's assume we are back to school. What is one thing that you will miss about teaching from home, teaching online? The opportunity to turn my cam off and go do it. Okay, Alyocha, I will let Gazi University know about this situation. The mute button. Okay, recorded classes. We need to see the 9th. Okay. Yes, materials, attending classes with my pajamas. Excellent. I have a wonderful group of people being able to use several online. Yes. It is amazing, isn't it? Because in the classroom, we cannot reach this variety of materials. Oh, classroom has a different set of materials, but still, it's amazing how many kinds of materials we have. I know, George, I totally agree with you. I wish we could. Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. Okay, then, let's move on to the next question. And by the way, I will definitely miss wearing sweatpants. It's what a comfort, my God. Okay. In your opinion, do you feel that we are ready to go back to school as teachers and as students? A simple yes or no. Okay. Yeah, I understand. No, yeah. Yes, Shebna Mojam says, I am ready. Yes. Here Ali Hoja has a different role because he is a student, but he's also a kind of a teacher, instructor. So he knows both sides, I guess. No, yeah. Not sure. So Ali Hojam, yeah, I understand your point. As a student, yes, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, then. Yeah. The situation, it hasn't changed much, has it? The conditions. What was the question? Okay, the question is, do you think that we are ready to go back to school? Both as learners, students, and as teachers. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, the variance. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, then. My last question before I start. I want you to express your feeling about going back to school. How do you feel? No one can stop Şebnem Hocam. She's decided, she's determined to go back to school. Okay. Yeah, okay. It is hard to follow all the messages. You feel like excited, confused, anxious. Okay. Yeah, depends on expectations. It should be postponed. Okay. Not sure. Happy, yeah. Yeah. We know that we're going to get together with our friends, our peers, our teachers, our instructors, but what kind of gathering is it going to be? Are we going to feel comfortable? If someone comes a little bit too close, are we going to feel irritated, anxious? Because in our culture, the proximity is not that clear, you know, we can stand a little bit too close to each other. Are we going to push them back? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, no more handshakes, kisses on the, no more hugging. No more standing close. But you know what? Maybe we have learned a lesson from this. We have learned that too much hugging and kissing is not really healthy, not only in this situation, but in any situation. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to start sharing my screen. And before I start this presentation, I want to say that I have read and collected a lot of data from British sites and American sites. Couldn't find much information on Turkish sites, but this is kind of a compilation of different views, and of course, my point of view synthesized in this presentation. Well, the chat box is open. I can see your remarks. So whenever you feel that you want to say something, please go ahead and say it, okay? This is, of course, my finding of the ministry's announcement. Actually, it says face-to-face education starts on the 6th of September, and it kind of explains some points. It talks about an orientation program, for example, for preschool level and first graders. It also talks about students who suffer from chronic diseases or have excuses can continue online education, but there is no explanation on how it is going to be done. So is the teacher going to be in the classroom teaching face-to-face, and these students are joining the class and watching the class? No explanation at all. It just says, EBA will continue, and online education will continue only for students who have a kind of valid excuse. Okay. Yeah, I totally agree. So most probably you have seen this. It is in Turkish, but I don't think that we have any foreigners tonight. And this is the statement that most of the teachers used when they responded to the question, how do you feel about going back to school? Now, like Turkish teachers, British and American teachers also have missed face-to-face education. Is this stupid thing translating my sentences?
Yes, we can see the translations like subtitles at the very same time as you're speaking.
What is going on?
Is it Windows is doing this? I'm not really.
I don't know. I have done several. Okay, stop share. No, don't stop share. Let me try again. Okay, it's not translating now. Good. You crazy program. Okay. So most of the British and American teachers have missed teaching face-to-face, but they don't feel comfortable going back to classroom situation because of the fact that schools are very crowded, right? And today we have also learned that universities will also open starting from the 16th of September, although the administration has stated that it's up to the university to make up them to decide on whether to continue online education or face-to-face education. But because of this competitive environment that we are in today, I don't think that universities will continue online education. Maybe they will move on to hybrid version of it, like half face-to-face, half online kind of thing. Okay. So I have 3 questions here. Are schools ready? Which is more related to the physical conditions that we're going to work in. Are teachers ready? So this is more related to the psychological, emotional situation that the teachers are in, and the same goes for the students. Some of the students I know, I'm now talking about young learners. Young learners are too young to really weigh the situation and decide whether pluses and minuses, which one is heavier, you know. But older learners, like high school learners, they don't, some of them do not feel very comfortable. So yeah, student apart owners are, so I know. Yeah, because I'm going to mention that this pandemic not only caused a lot of problems in education, but it also caused a lot of problems in economy. And now definitely landlords and landladies are more than ready to start renting their places. Dorms are ready to start accepting or admitting students. And parents are more than ready to send their kids to school because they're sick and tired of dealing with their own children, if you excuse the expression. Okay, now, these conditions have been released by scientific and accredited medical sites. So don't worry, I'm not making these up. This is not fake news, okay? Now, everyone says the school physically is ready if, only if, it can create and constantly follow effective health and safety measures to mitigate the risk of infection. What does this mean? Optimal hygiene and sanitation, mask wearing, vaccination, etc. Of course, not with young learners. Not only in the classrooms, but in all school premises, hallways, cafeterias, canteens, toilets, right? Anywhere that students are going to use should be 100% sanitized. And hopefully we have the necessary equipment for that, as you can see in the picture. And this has to be done before students come to the class, during the lunch break, and when they leave, after they leave the school. So 3 times a day, at least, they say, the closed areas should be sanitized, okay, disinfected. Schools are ready if they can start hybrid schooling. Partially distance, partially face-to-face. If they can minimize physical contact, how are they going to do that? Can they keep closed areas aired regularly? In fact, rather than regularly, constantly, they say, keeping the windows open, letting fresh air come in, okay? Now, in September, okay, we can do that. Maybe in October as well. How about November? How about December? And especially in a city like Ankara that suffers from pretty harsh winters, how are we going to do this? Are we going to freeze our students? I don't know. Well, that will be a radical solution though, right? Can we space desks to maintain the safe distance, that physical distance, as you can see in the picture? Or are we going to just push all of them in the same classroom, like 40, 50 people? I'm not talking about private schools, but even with private schools, they have at least 20, 25 people in one closed area, which is not very safe. So how are they going to do this? Yeah, I totally agree with you, Alyocha. Can they facilitate overcrowded classes? For example, holding school in shifts to reduce class size. Saying, for example, Ucha, this half will come between 9 and 12. This half will come between 1 and 4. I don't know. I don't know how they're going. Is it possible to have less crowded classrooms, less crowded schools in general? Is it possible to reduce the workload of teachers? Because if you divide the classes, the groups into 2, that means the teacher has to repeat the same session twice. So if you're going to continue giving the teacher the present workload of the teacher, that means they have to multiply it by 2. 30 hours to teach. Okay, now I have 60 hours to teach. Impossible, right? Now, I have also found this general information, and this is true for this is true worldwide. You know, it's not specifically correct for the Turkish situation. This pandemic has been a shared experience of trauma for communities as well as for individuals. So when we go back to school, there are certain things that we should do as teachers and students to maintain our psychological, emotional health as well as physical health, okay? As a teacher, don't forget that you will be like the leader in that school area of the premises, I mean. So you need to be healthy and strong. So these are some suggestions, or this is collected advice, I should say, maybe, for teachers. They say you should eat well, get enough sleep or rest, and watch your caffeine and alcohol intake. Okay? Go easy on yourself. Don't push yourself too much. Don't rush. I have to finish this. I have to cover that. Oh my God, I have only 10 minutes left. So how am I going to finish it? Don't. Take your time. If you can't finish it, let it go. Let it go. Okay? You're not going to save the world within 10 minutes. Take it easy. You're a human being. Okay? You cannot create miracles. Nothing will change overnight. Remember, this is a period of adjustment for everyone. And you're not a superhero. In fact, you are one of the victims of this situation. So you need to go easy on yourself. Okay? We're back to school, face-to-face education. Now I can cover the whole curriculum. No, you can't. Okay? Now, remember, these students need to get back to school mentally first. Okay, maybe they cannot start learning, hopefully, learning as quickly as you wish. They need time, you need time, okay? Saying goodbye to your sweatpants, that's not going to be that easy. And your very comfortable slippers as well, you know. Oh, yes, İrem Hocam, I totally agree with you. We need to nourish our students, but even more important than that, we need to nourish ourselves emotionally. We have suffered a lot. Let's be honest, okay? Well, I know the society can be very demanding when it comes to teachers, but teachers are human beings. And if you're not a healthy teacher, both emotionally, psychologically, and physically, you cannot handle students. In fact, you may ruin their lives. You may cause an extra trauma for them. We need to be very careful with that, okay? So first, self, then our students, okay? Share how you're feeling with people you trust. This may be your partner, this may be your spouse, this may be your family member, friend, colleague, I don't know. But please make 100% sure that this person is not going to judge you just because you feel that way, because you don't want to hide your feelings. You just want to pour it out. You just want to say, I feel so stressed. I am scared. Okay, we need to be able to say these things. Is it going to heal? No, but at least it will just take a little bit of the burden, okay, from our back. I know. Ali Hocam says he had some instructors who rushed because they felt that they had to finish the slides. Slides, for God's sake. I mean, you can send your slides to people. They can read. I mean, these people can read by themselves anyways. We're talking about university students here. We're not talking about, very young learners. Rushing is not going to take you anywhere. It's definitely not going to take your students anywhere. So why are you doing it? Why? Stop rushing. Stop pushing people too hard. Stop pushing yourself too hard. Oh my God, I sound like a psychiatrist now. Maybe I will change my profession. Okay. Yeah, I know. This not sharing thing, I don't understand. I mean, information, we live in the information age. Information is everywhere. This is not a statement that I have. Well, the statement is mine, but the idea I have read, you know. So why should I hide it from other people? Information is for sharing. Okay. If you don't share your knowledge, why are you learning it? Don't learn it. It's not going to do you any good. Okay. Give yourself small rewards. This doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy yourself a very expensive gift. No, just small rewards. Maybe for me, a piece of chocolate or a nice cup of coffee with some Turkish delight. Okay. Or maybe just sitting by yourself and looking at the horizon. It's a small reward. Okay. Isolating yourself from all the distractors around you. Even your family can be a little too heavy sometimes, you know. And find small moments to yourself. It's a me time. If you have watched that YouTube video that where I talk about me time, it is really very important because it is kind of a distraction technique to get you through difficult times. Some people knit. They say that it is relaxing for them. Some people, listening to sounds of nature. Of course, that is a relaxing thing. Why not? Sometimes, for example, well, of course, it all depends on what kind of, what genre of music you like. But I find, for example, classical music very relaxing. So definitely, I have found some visuals here. Some people watch funny cat videos. They like them. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let anyone judge. You know, people may say, you know, that's very childish. I don't care. I love it. So I'm going to do it. Do it. Okay. You don't need to explain how you feel to everyone. I remember what I said. Find someone whom you trust, whom you know is not going to judge you. Okay, whatever stupid thing that you do. Some people like reading just to relax. Some people like listening to music. Some people like going on a walk in the park. Some people like, I don't know, just grabbing a cup of coffee, sitting in the balcony, you know, watching people. Yeah, of course. Some people are so wicked, they can manipulate your vulnerability, George Am says, definitely. Yes, tracking, listening. I have several CDs, yes, of, for example, sounds of whales. It's very relaxing. Sounds of, what is it called? Forest sounds. They're very relaxing. Okay. Yes, İrem Hocam, why not? Whatever makes you comfortable, whatever gives you another boost to stand up and start fighting again. Okay. Sure. Stay flexible and adaptable. This virus is not going to go anywhere, it seems. I mean, scientists say that. What do I understand about viruses? Nothing. But scientists say that this virus continues to mutate and evolve. So This may lead to another closing schools. If there is any increase in the numbers, honest numbers, I mean, they may decide to close the schools again. So you need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable. Do not come up with a syllabus which is based on face-to-face education only. Be ready, okay? And another relaxation technique or another strategy that you can use is to note things that you're grateful for. Okay. Dusting. Okay. I hate dusting. I boundaries with negative energy vampire people who always spread negativity and complain and try. Oh my God, I know those people. You need to find a way to keep them away from yourself. Okay, do whatever you need to do, but do not let them suck the energy, suck the positivity out of you. Some people are like that. They complain. They always complain, and they always find something negative. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just go like conflict myself here. I'm gonna say approach others with kindness and an open mind. We keep saying that no one can judge you. So I think we should do the same. We should not judge anyone. Some people have come out of this situation, even stronger than before. Some couldn't. So some suffer from mental problems, maybe. So we should not be judgmental, right? And we need to try to create a supportive and nurturing environment for our students. But only if we are healthy, we can do this, right? Yeah, hiking in the nature, spending time in the nature, cycling, exercising, dancing. Yeah, definitely. Walking and swimming. Okay. Yeah. Another point that I have is be aware of the fact that learning may have to wait. Students may not feel to be able to learn at the same pace as they have done before, and they may show disruptive behavior. If you remember, we have talked about this in another Zoom series. Some students have suffered from a lot of abuse at home. So now their psychology might have gotten worse. So you may postpone teaching. First, deal with the students' psychological aspect or emotional needs first. In order to be able to do that, in order to create a friendlier atmosphere in the classroom, safer atmosphere, in order to be able to build the team soul again, I strongly suggest you make more frequent use of fun activities. Forget about the curriculum. You're a teacher, and using fun activities does not mean that you're not teaching. You're still teaching, but you're teaching through more motivating, more engaging, more interesting activities or tasks, okay? This is regardless of age. I'm not referring to only young learners. As an adult, I love fun activities. right? Who doesn't like having fun? Teachers who are really very serious are boring. I'm sorry. They're boring. They don't know how to make that lesson, how to make that class more fun, enjoyable. Okay? Why not using games? Why don't we use more art and craft activities? Why can't we use more drama and dramatization activities? Why can't we use more music and musical activities? Why? No reason at all. Oh, don't say I need to cover the curriculum. No one has covered the curriculum, believe me. The curriculum is there, I don't know, doing what? Okay. Now, when students are engaged in these activities, they not only learn, but they also have a way of letting the steam off out of their chest. The things that they cannot say, the things that they cannot express, they can pour them out, like, getting that negativity out through these activities. We have this, what is it called? Gorilla thumb. Have you ever heard of that? When you feel that your students are too stressed, too depressed, what you say is, okay, you're a gorilla, okay? I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't look around, because I'm going to look funny and I don't want other people to see me, okay? And now I want you to thump your chest like this, like a gorilla, and shout like a gorilla, because you want to show that you're the king of the forest, jungle, okay? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and students can go, whoa, because they have closed their eyes, they cannot see around, and they feel comfortable, and they get this wah out. Okay. Well, whenever I did this at Ghazi, definitely some other instructor came and knocked on my door and said, "Is everything okay?" But I don't mind. If my students feel more comfortable, it is more important than pleasing another instructor. Okay. Now I have some examples that we can use. These, again, activities are not for any specific age group. The activity can be taken and adapted. The topic can be changed. The pace can be changed. The difficulty level can be changed if you're dealing with, for example, university students. With young learners, you can use farm animals, but, for example, with university students, you can use extinct animals. Okay, so when you change not the game, but the topic, not change, but let's say adapt, you can use them with any age group. Some of the sample activities that I have prepared are more appropriate for older learners, but I will warn you when it comes to that. Okay, so if I don't say otherwise, that means that game can be used with any group, provided that you adapt the topic or the pace of the game. Now, the first game is very much like an icebreaker, because they're back to school and they need to build the team concept again. So what you do is you ask your students to stand in a circle. Remember the distance. Okay, that is important. Okay, so you have either a softball, it can also be a beach ball, or a beanbag, a small beanbag. For little kids, they sell them in toy stores, I believe. As the teacher, you need to start the game, so you hold on to that. and you demonstrate. By the way, when you're giving instructions, showing is always better than explaining, okay? So what you do is whatever you want to practice, whatever you want your students to do or answer, you just start the game throwing the ball to a person and asking the question. For example, you can go, my name is Aydan, what's your name? The student who catches the ball will answer the question first. My name is Shebnem, and then throw the ball and say, what's your name? This can be done with other questions like, my favorite color is blue. What's your favorite color? Whatever you want them to practice, whatever you want them to ask, you can use, okay? I like pop music. What genre of music do you like? Okay, so you can change the question, no big deal. As you can see in this picture, university students are playing it with a beach ball, okay? Now the game works best if students act a little bit fast, because if they take their time, there's no challenge. The challenge aspect is lost. So you can be there saying, okay, come on, move, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, also they can act as if they're throwing during the pandemic. Oh, by the way, this activity has been used in online classes as well. What they did was, you know, breakout rooms. Students were gathered in breakout rooms and they were choosing their partner, like, Defne Hocam, my favorite color is blue. What is your favorite color? And then acting as if they are throwing the ball. So Defne Hoca was supposed to act as if she's holding it, okay? And then saying, my favorite color is yellow. Yeah, that kind of thing. So you can do it. Like, yeah, as Alo just said, remember, pantomiming, you know, miming. Why not? Why not? Okay. Yeah, definitely. I'm responding to the messages in the chat box. Okay, another activity. I need to go fast. I need to finish my slides. Okay. This is a kind of pace game. So I play the music, whatever music I have, and students are expected to mingle, you know, walk around the class, again, watching their social distance. And suddenly I stop the music and shout out a number. You know the number of your students you have in your group. So if you have only 10, so use smaller numbers. If you have 20, you can use the bigger numbers. So you shout out a number. 3, you say, okay? So students run and form groups of 3. This, in fact, is a kind of a group forming activity. And then, of course, you can give a task to that group. Why not? Or continue playing the game. So if, for example, there are students left out, unfortunately, they are out of the game. So it becomes harder for the students to find the number, correct number to form groups, and it becomes more challenging. And here we have a photograph of that activity. Well, with young learners, they will run. With older learners, they will be cool. They will just walk fast. Okay. Another activity is a little bit complicated, but again, if you don't explain, but if you show, students will understand. This time you need a ball of yarn or string. What you're going to do is you can start it, you can demonstrate it. You're going to hold the loose end of the yarn and say something, say whatever you want to say about yourself. Maybe this is a good ice-breaking activity as well. Okay, I'm going to start it. Okay. I hate vampire movies. And then holding the loose end of the yarn or string, I throw the ball to someone else in my circle. That person will hold the ball, get the string yarn out, say something about themselves. I hate heavy metal music. Holding the string or the yarn, they continue throwing, okay? So this continues on. It doesn't have to go in the circle. Students can choose someone else and throw the yarn onto the other end of the group. The game ends when all of the students are holding one piece of or one end of the string. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the kind of spider web design. Okay, now yeah, again, I'm definitely student web. Well, you can adapt this. I have another alternative for this one. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can ask your students to make the yarn ball again, this time by throwing the ball to the opposite. So they need to understand which student is holding that part of string. So they need to throw it back to that person and they kind of roll the ball again. You can even make it even harder and say, okay, I want you to throw the yarn, but at the same time, remember what your friend has said and repeat it. Well, with advanced level students, why not? Or upper intermediate, like B2 plus maybe. So what did she say? She hates heavy metal music. Great. Okay. I'm not going to say this is a wonderful way of practicing simple present tense, because I hate teaching grammar, but I can say this is a wonderful way of teaching learners how to talk about their likes and dislikes. So I'm for functional grammar, definitely. I have already talked about this version, okay? Now this one is a corner game. You just need to prepare 4 corners in the classroom. If you have a schoolyard, that's even better. You know, it's open air, great. You just stick numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 on the wall somewhere, and then have a set of instructions. Whatever you have covered, you can use, okay? Of course, I'm gonna use some known, very commonly used phrases here. Now, students, when you give the instruction, I'm going to do it, so don't worry, you will see it. They need to run to that corner that is correct for them. Okay? And they stay there in their group. When you finish the instruction, they are there as a group, you go to each group and ask the question that you change from your instruction. Let me demonstrate, because I know giving instructions is a horrible thing. We need to definitely demonstrate. Okay. Now, the first instruction said, if your favorite house pet is cat, go to corner 1. If your favorite house pet is dog, go to corner 2. If your favorite house pet is fish, go to corner 3. If you don't have a favorite house pet, go to corner 4. Now, sometimes students act very fast, but then they hear the second line. Oh no, I'm not a cat, the dog. So you let them change their group. Okay, this is not like, oh my God, you can't change your group. You have to stay there. No, it's remember, this is to have fun. This is not to torture our students. Okay, and then when they're sitting, standing there in their corner, as you can see in the visual, you go to that group and say, what is your favorite house pet? So the group has to shout out all together, cat, first group. If someone says dog, you can say, what the hell are you doing here? You need to go to second corner. Don't say what the hell, of course. That's not appropriate for a teacher. Okay. If your favorite food is hamburger, go to corner 1. If it's macaroni, go to corner 2. If it's pizza, go to corner 3. If you don't have a favorite food, go to corner 4. Okay, so whatever. We have leisure time activity as well. Okay, now this is related to listening to music, a piece of music, and reflecting on how that piece of music makes you feel. So I'm going to give you a visual faces. I want you to listen to music pieces that I'm going to play. I'm not going to play any music right now. And I want you to write the number of that music piece in the appropriate box. Does it make you happy? Does it make you sad? Does it make you relaxed? Does it make you depressed or bored and energetic? So the music pieces should come with numbers. So you should go like 1 and then play, 2, then play, because students are expected to write the numbers in these boxes. Okay. You can use classical music, jazz, hip hop, heavy metal, pop music. 1 may be slow, 1 fast, punk rock, whatever. They don't need to find one feeling for each and every piece. They can go for the same picture. They can say, they all make me happy. Okay, no big deal. Again, no forcing. You cannot use the same feeling for, no, they can. Okay. Another version of this activity, you show a short YouTube video. Please use a heartwarming one, not a terrible one. Okay. Remember, these are to make students safe, happy, engaged in the class. We don't want them to hate their life. Okay. Watch the video. How does it make you feel? Happy, sad, bored, energetic? You can even come up with an extra item with this one. I want you to now write down whatever you have seen in the video, not in sentences, but just words. Okay. A man, a kite, a car, that's fine. Okay. And then you can say, I want you to watch the video again and check your answers and see whether you want to add more to your list or not. See how you're changing a fun activity into a more like a language activity? You can even go further and say, okay, I want you to find similar videos for next lesson. Why not? They watch more YouTube videos than we do. Okay. I love brain teasers, but brain teasers are more like, especially these ones are more like for older learners. So if you're going to use brain teasers for younger learners, Please use simpler ones, okay? One of them is in a year, there are 12 months. 7 months have 31 days. How many months have 28 days? Okay. What can you hold without ever touching or using your hands? I'm not reading the answers now. I'm just going to cover the brain teasers. How many times can you subtract the number 2 from the number 50? What has a mouth but cannot eat? Moves but has no legs? And a bank but cannot put money in it? What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it? Okay, so I think Egemen Hocam has said every month. Yes, because if a month has 30 days, 31 days, that means it also has 28 days, okay? It doesn't say how many months have only 28 days. So this is more like a language game over there. What can you hold? Yes, Egemen Hocam has said breath. Kübra Hocam has said breath. Definitely, you can hold your breath without using your hands. How many times can you subtract the number 2 from the number 50? Zillion times? No, only once. Only once. Because when you subtract 2 from the number 50, the number becomes 48. And then you subtract 2 from that and it becomes 46. So unfortunately, once. What is a mouth? Definitely a river. Again, remember the skirt of a mountain, a skirt of a person, you know. So these words are really very important. A river has a mouth. A river has a bank. It moves. Okay. What 5-letter word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it? Short. Short becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it. So you don't need to think a lot about that, okay? They're fun, aren't they? Okay, that you can find hundreds of them on the internet. Okay. Activity 9 is a reading activity. It's reading aloud activity, but it is for pronunciation purposes. Reading aloud is not used for reading comprehension purposes. Remember that, please. What you're going to do is to censor the text. So you decide as a teacher on a group of a category of words that students are not going to read, but they're just going to bleep. So when it comes to that word, they're going to say bleep. Okay. So you can choose the food category, animals category. I don't know. I have chosen countries and cities. So you give the reading text and say, okay, Defne Hocam, start reading. So, okay, she starts reading. The building company, Hong Kong Housing, is building a new suburb in beep, a city with a population of more than, and then I will say, okay, thank you. You stop there. Kübra Hocam, you continue. This, don't follow an order to keep your students on their toes. They should not be able to predict when their turn is going to come. Just choose randomly. and make sure that there's at least one city or country name in the sentence, so they need to say bleep, that kind of thing. If they fail, they're out of the game. No big deal. I mean, there's no punishment. The only punishment is, okay, you're out. That's it. Okay. Of course, I'm not going to read the whole here. I know our time is getting, oh my God. Okay, last activity. Don't worry, I'm going to finish. Ask your students to work in pairs. This is a kind of an information gap activity. They need to sit back to back. So they shouldn't see the picture. One is the teller. The other one is the drawer. So you give one picture to pair A, let's say. Make sure that it is describable. Is that even a word? I don't know. And drawable, okay? Don't give, for example, I don't know, Salvador Dali's picture, okay? It should be something easy for them to describe and draw. Let's assume this one, for example. Okay, so they don't need to touch each other. This definitely does not follow that social distancing rule, but they cannot look at the pictures. I mean, they cannot look at each other's pictures. The teller is describing the picture, and the other one is drawing. The drawer can drawer deyince de çekmece gibi oldu. I'm sorry. The person who is drawing can ask questions. Where is the sun? Is it on the left? Is it on the right? They can. Okay. You can only draw generally. Yeah, okay. I mean, you can even go for a simpler picture. You don't need to come up with a sophisticated one. You may also choose the drawing depending on what you have just covered. If, for example, you have covered prepositions, it is a great thing to have, for example, a room picture where they can use a lot of prepositions. If you have more like adjectives just covered, you can say tall. There's a tall tree in the garden on the left. It is green. There is another one, short one. It is not green. It is yellow. That kind of thing, right? And the person who is drawing can always say, "Where is the short one? Are they close? Doğru dürüst anlatsana kardeş." Kind of thing. That will really bring some positivity to that activity. Okay. That's all. I mean, these are only suggestions. Are we limited to those? No, of course not. If you want, you can Google ice-breaking activities, energizers, fillers, any other activities. Coolers, we don't need it here because we usually use coolers after a very hyper activity. You can find a lot of activities like that. Well, I want to thank you for listening to me. And of course, I'm going to mention Ingrid. You know how much we try to stand together, help each other. We learn a lot from you, and hopefully you learn from us as well. Please visit our website. Follow us on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is free, but a membership number, subscribers number is important because YouTube then gives the channel certain privileges. And as Ingrid, we want to use those privileges. It's not going to cost you anything. And I'm doing my best to come out with fun videos. So please subscribe to our channel just to support us. Defne Hocam, thank you very much. That's my presentation.
Thank you very much for the great presentation. It was, we really had fun, didn't we? I can't see the faces, but I think I can just have the feeling. I enjoyed them very much. There was one time when you said the curriculum is out there and let's not mind the curriculum only. I just want to ask, or just I want to get confirmation about, these activities. They always have a purpose, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's not just because we want to have some fun activities there,
No,
but there's always some kind of point to them.
definitely, definitely. I just want to warn you about something. Remember what I said at the beginning of the activities? I said this is a period of adjustment. So right now, when we go back to school, we need some time to get back to our old habits, the classroom routines, teacher roles, student roles. So this is more like a transition period. Of course, in language teaching, in any teaching, all activities have purposes. These have less purposes. The only purpose that we have here is to help students recall whatever they have learned, help students become a community again, get used to the school again, to the idea of being there again. So please remember, I'm not saying that as teachers, we should not follow the curriculum, we should do whatever we want. No, no, no. Please consider this presentation as a whole. I said we need to adjust to the situation and we need some time. This may be a month, I don't know, a week maybe an hour, God knows. That's why I said take your time. Don't push yourself. This is an extraordinary situation. So there is no recipe for, for that. I don't have a solution. Okay, on Monday, go to school, do this, everything will just go fine. I can't. No one can. That's why I'm just suggesting some activities just to have fun, okay? Ali Hocam has said something which makes me a little bit nervous right now. He said, I will miss turning off my camera off, turning off my cam and go and do whatever I want to. Now, when I cannot see the faces of the participants, I have a feeling that they are not there. They are out doing something else. So if that is it, thank you, Sherif Hocam. Thank you. I felt kind of anxious. Did I talk to a bunch of names over there? No one was watching. Well, okay, Uğur Hocam, thank you. Okay, thank you. I know you're there. I know it is more comfortable when you don't have the cam on, but it's really hard. As a teacher, you would understand what I'm saying. It's really hard to talk to a bunch of black boxes with names only. It is always nice to see someone nodding or smiling. That's why I kept looking at Defne Hoca, because she continuously gave me feedback. When she laughed, I understood, okay, she understood, she got my point, she got my joke, So it is a kind of a response. Okay, are there any questions? Are there any comments? Thank you for joining. Thank you, Egemen
All right.
Hocam. That's very kind of you.
So anyone else or any comments? You can raise your hands, you can unmute yourselves and ask a question or make a comment. Otherwise, I'm going to make some closing remarks and close.
Okay.
No?
Before Defne Hocam, you make your closing remarks, I just want to say something. There are certain people here, well, I don't want to go name by name, who have never left us alone, who have, whatever the session was about, who have joined us, who have supported us. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is so important to know that there are people who will never leave you alone. You know yourselves. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great life, because you made my life great. Yes, definitely. I'm done.
All right, I was looking at one of the remarks. Shebnem just said, can we have your address? By this way, we can continue to disturb you forever.
Which address? I mean, if it's email address, I do not use my email a lot. I hate emails. I use more like the social platforms, but I'm writing it in the chat box. This is my email address. You can send messages from Instagram. You can use Facebook to write messages to me. I mean, the messenger.
Any other comments or questions? Irem Hoca says, this is the first time I'm being here, but I can say that it won't be the last. Oh, that's great to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a nice compliment. Thank you very much, Irem Hoca.
Okay, Uğur just says, if I couldn't attend, I checked the recordings on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I was not
Right.
trying to send any messages to anyone here. I just wanted to show my appreciation to some of my colleagues. For example, Sherif Hocam here. He's just looking at me. He has always found a way of joining these sessions. And Şebnem Hocam, for example, yes, she's a stalker. She's definitely a lovely stalker. You know, you can never get angry at her. Ali Hocam, for example, he has always been here. Özlem Hocam. I just wanted to show my appreciation to these people. Otherwise, I wasn't trying to send any negative messages. Please forgive me if I created that impression. I was not trying to. That wasn't my intention, anyways. I'm sorry.
All right. So good to
yes, you're still a student, but I bet you're going to be a great teacher. So shall we just
All right,
close?
shall we?
Yes.
All right. So I just want to remind you that we're going to give a break to our Engage Zoom series, and we hope to start again on the 24th of September. And of course, you'll be hearing about it. Please follow us on Facebook and
Instagram.
mainly Facebook and Instagram. And LinkedIn, right? Please do follow us there, and you'll hear about the upcoming webinars with wonderful presenters and beautiful topics again. Well, thank you everybody who contributed to the session, particularly Aydan Hocam. It was great.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
a great way to start the year. I suppose everybody will make use of the ideas. And thank you very much. Let's close.
Thank
the night.
you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Take
everybody.
good care of yourselves. Defne Hocam, thank you very much.
You're welcome. We thank you.